Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I do for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I am not presently a happy Brandon Wenzel. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not the case today, and it actually does tie into why I'm not a happy Brandon Wenzel. Because, you see, I am not, in fact, just getting off work right now. I'm, in fact, going to work right now. In fact, going back to work right now. So we went over there. They pulled some fucky stuff with the scheduling and everything. And basically, they're like, what if you, I don't know, went to work, did your thing, you know, all that good stuff. Then what if you just came back in a few hours and did another shift? It was like, no. They're like, yes. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm taking the opportunity for the overtime. But I'm definitely, so as a result, this is not anything that I picked up on my way home from work. This is stuff that's been in my fridge for a little bit. And I was like, I just woke up like maybe half an hour ago, so I might be a little bit loopy. But hopefully this will help. Because what is it, folks? Well, it happens to be, boom! Breinfuel, with all the Breinfuel powers. This is their tangy citrus cerebral nectar flavor. Ooh. It's all-day focus for mental athletes. God. Gotta love just the marketing for Breinfuel. 360 milligrams of caffeine. That is a lot of caffeine. Collagen plus MCTs, 5 grams D-ribose sugar. Sure. Say hello to your partner in productivity, perfect blend, and then it's got like beetroot, probiotics, all that good stuff. Shake it up a little bit. I've reviewed some of the other Breinfuel flavors. Breinfuel is actually, I believe, located out of Illinois. As a result, this review will end up in my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just sort of local Illinois stuff and everything. I did their fruit punch a while ago, which to this day is still one of my favorite reviews because like I just laid into their marketing so hard and it was a lot of fun. And then I recently reviewed another one, but I can't remember what it was, but let's try out some tangy citrus Breinfuel. And I'm sure that it's supposed to be Breinfuel, but it's Breinfuel to me. Ugh. Yeah, there's definitely, whatever their like blend of energy shit is, it definitely has like a certain funk to it. Like it's not like horrible, but like it definitely has a very distinct smell. Let's give it a go. Ooh. Okay. And yeah, and it definitely, and to be fair, this isn't like a Breinfuel exclusive thing. Like pretty much all energy drink brands and shit like that, they have a formula and then they build off of that. They have a baseline and then they just build the flavors on top. Monster and Red Bull and all that shit. That's how they do their thing. Breinfuel is definitely the case, but it's definitely got a weird vibe to it, man. It's for what it is. Okay. I mean, it's not horrible or anything. It just has a really weird taste to it that I'm not huge into. And again, it's the base flavor that really is the problem. Like, the top flavor, the citrus, isn't half bad. It actually reminds me a little bit of, and I mean, it makes sense, of course, reminds me of the citrus hit that you get from, like, an orange juice. That's really where my brain goes to it. It's a little bit tangy. It's not, like, too sour or anything like that. The citrus side of it is actually rather nice. It's just that, again, that baseline flavor. I don't know, it's got like a weird, almost pseudo bitterness to it. Like, it's not, I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's bitter, but it's like almost bitter. It definitely sparks on the same flavor receptors that that bitter stuff does for me. Like, it kind of, the good thing is it doesn't like get to an obnoxious level. You know, it kind of tapers off right before it gets there, and that's kind of where like the tanginess of the citrus comes in and kind of saves the day a little bit. But yeah, that base flavor is just kind of weird. It's not horrendous. Like, I've certainly had worse tasting energy drinks, but it is very apparent, and it's not what I would consider the most pleasant thing to drink. And to be fair, like, Breinfuel, they do sort of market themselves, again, it's like all-day focus. They're trying to be one of these more sort of pseudo-upscale energy drinks that's like, oh, and you can do this, and if you go over there and drink it on a Wednesday, you'll turn into an X-Man, you know, like, they have all these, like, things that kind of go along with it. And that's fine. I don't give a shit one way or another. I'm just talking about the taste. So I am a little bit more willing to kind of be forgiving when it comes to these type of energy drinks, because they're not trying to be a traditional energy drink. Traditional energy drinks are basically trying to be a soda with a shit ton of caffeine in it. Breinfuel and others like it are like, look, we're not trying to be that. We're trying to be quasi-healthy-ish. Please don't think that this shit is healthy, but, you know, do your own research is kind of what I'm getting at with that. But yeah, that all said, though, two questions do have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No, and kinda-ish. Yeah. For me, personally, the Breinfuel flavors, I have one more to try. They're not horrible. Like, I really do want to emphasize that point. Like, I don't think that they're terrible or anything like that. They're drinkable. I personally, and again, I get what they're going for with, like, the, you know, again, with, like, all the marketing and all the this stuff, and, you know, so I try to be a little bit forgiving. But at the end of the day, it still needs to kind of taste nice. And I don't think that the Breinfuel flavors taste particularly nice. They're not particularly awful, but they're definitely, you know, if here's the middle line between good and bad, they're definitely on, for me, in terms of flavor, on the bad side of things. Not by a huge margin, but, like, just enough. Because I don't like that baseline flavor that they have. You know, it's just not appealing to me. So for me personally, you know, despite the fact that I do really like to go over there and try to support Illinois businesses and stuff, I can't really get past that. You know, it's not something that I personally would grab as like a go-to energy beverage. Now, that said, would I recommend it? Again, kinda. Because I really do feel like it depends on who this is being marketed to. If you are like me, where your energy drink needs are basically pretty much along the lines of what energy drinks have been for 20 plus years now, which is effectively need caffeine / energy now. No. I think there are energy drinks out there that, quite frankly, just taste better. That I know, you know, again, for me and for my people, we would probably be more inclined towards than this. But, again, I do recognize that I am not really that exact audience, you know. This is for people who, again, you know, they're looking at the marketing, they're looking at, you know, the potential benefits to it. Again, please do your own research on that stuff. In that regard, kinda. I have had other energy drinks that make these similar claims that I have preferred, but by that same token, I have ones that I have really disliked. This, for what it is pretty okay in that regard. You know, and it seems like I'm damning with faint praise, but I'm trying to be kind of as nice as I can to it. I think that if you're the person that these are being marketed to, then I think that, yeah, you know, if you're that person who's looking at, you know, the energy drink stuff, and again, looking at all, you know, all of this stuff, if you're that person, this isn't a terrible option or anything. It's not horrendous, not going to make you gag or anything. It's just not the nicest flavor in my personal opinion, but I could see it being a thing, if you kind of took a taste to it. You could probably get past it. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly, why the fuck am I going back into work-tastic rest of your life? Oh, so angry about this. But I have a job. It's not a bad job. Overtime, paying bills. Very final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to go out and do. Obviously, like I said, I'm a little bit salty right now because I'm not big on the scheduling and stuff, but here's what I'd like us all to do. Again, let's take the positive away from things, because that's really what I'm trying to do, because otherwise I'm just going to go in and be an asshole for, 8 hours of work, and I don't want to be that person. I got other nice people who are in the same boat as me. None of us really want to be there, but at the same time, again, looking at it from the positive side of things, and that can be difficult sometimes. That can be impossible sometimes. But when we can, it goes back to, my thing about trying not to be an asshole. You're not always going to succeed, but work with it and, just try to trudge through it. Same time, though, don't get taken advantage of. That's another thing, You gotta find that balance point. But anyway, bye.